What is up? It's your glorious host Martin here, back with another one. I am currently in Georgia. Just got in at a rest stop right now, and I said I'm gonna record because I'm on my way to South Carolina, pick up my son. But enough about that. Today's review is Blockade. I'm pretty sure you've never heard of Blockade, but oh my god, it is a roller coaster of an anime. So you got comedy, you got the supernatural, you got action. The action scenes, when I tell you the action scenes have almost no comedy, like within the inner lines of it. It was like one scene because like they say they moves, and then like 6 different people were saying they moved at the same time. So they was like, hey, you stepping on my lines. That was like the only like funny scene with it. I mean, whatever comes afterwards is pretty funny. But let me give you the rundown of Blockade. So let me set the scene for you. It's New York, and one day the magic barriers that separate the other world and the human world broke down. So New York sank, and what came afterwards is what's called Salem's Lot. Now, honestly, no offense to my New Yorkers, but from what I see online, it's still New York. And honestly, if you from New York and you haven't watched this, I think you would get a bigger like laugh out of it, because it's a lot of like New York tropes that I've seen online that are in this show. Like, you know, randomness, mugging, just kind of a lot of mind your business, never, you know, no matter what's going on, expensive rent, stuff like that. So we first follow Leonardo. Leonardo has what's called the all-seeing eyes of the gods. It is a pair of eyes that the all-seeing God gave him, and in exchange for these eyes, his sister had to give up her vision. Now, she was willing to give up her vision, not only because she's already in a wheelchair, so she felt like she didn't want to give her brother's eyes up because she was already enabled. So she felt like losing her vision wouldn't be that bad, and you know, she really loved her brother too. So she took that sacrifice for her brother. That's true love right there. Now, Leonardo got his eyes, and he moved to Salem's Lot because he wanted to figure out how to reverse the effects on his sister. And now, apparently, throughout all of history, there have been no one who has actually found a way to remove or reverse the effects of them. And as they said in the show, if you give back your eye, if you do find out a way to give back your eye, give back her vision, I'm pretty sure it's gonna have a connecting effect with Leonardo's eyes. Now, Leonardo's eyes give him super telescopic vision that also let him basically hack other people's eyes, or even not inanimate objects, but like different monsters. He can hack their eyes as well. And it's said that a true wielder of the eyes is also able to see into the future to some degree. You know, that's just a legend of it, and we never see it in the show because Leonardo's really didn't want to use his eyes. He's one of those people that I have power, but I'm not going to use my powers to get ahead in life. And where he was, I feel like, you know, he should have scratched it, because in Salem's Lot, when it did come back, a lot, like, the world was intertwined with monsters, and everything stayed there. So there were monsters, demons, wizards. The most destructive of monsters that were there are actually vampires, and they're like the top class of monsters from what I've seen, besides like deities and stuff in the show. So Leonardo goes to Salem's Lot, and he was actually looking for the secret public organization called what was the public organization called? I'm drawing a blank here. Libra. They're a public secret organization known as Libra. and he mistakenly got recognized as somebody else, so they actually brought him on as a employee. Now everybody under Libra, they were originally monster fighters, so them being in Hail Salem's lot was kind of like a, we need to be here. This is where business is. So that, I think they eventually end up moving like the whole company there, maybe. But because of what they do, they're also hated. So like it seems like they got warrants out for their arrest, but at the same time, people be looking to get their help at the same time. So it's kind of confusing. But it's led by a man named Klaus. Klaus don't look human, but they say he's human. But not only do Klaus not look human because he has tusks, but he has immense strength. So Klaus and a handful of the other main cast of Libra that we see, they're all known as Fang Hunters because their abilities revolve around hunting vampires. Although they're not exclusive to hunting vampires, their abilities are so strong that normal monsters and stuff are pretty much non-relevant to them. So they have a unique style called each of them have a different blood manipulation. So that's the power system in this show, is blood manipulation. So it's used to make weapons. Some people imbue them with different elements like electricity and ice, wind, fire. So there are different styles, like different releases or whatever. And Klaus is the strongest. He's the most competitive. Klaus is very, very smart. He's immensely smart. He has recognition throughout the underworld and just through the regular world as well. Next, so I don't remember everybody's name, so I'm not going to say everybody's name. But basically, the team goes through a lot of different scenarios where there are different chaotic groups within Hail Salem's lot that just want to destroy the city and the world for no reason. So on a weekly basis, they actually save the world. And with the help, most of the times, of Leonardo's eyes help them a whole lot. Like, especially with hunting the vampires, because Klaus has this particular technique that allows him to seal the vampires, but he needs their names, and Leonardo's able to actually see the names of these vampires, and that way Klaus can seal them. So the whole comedy part is they do their job. Like, when it's time to get in action, they do their job and they get down to it. I mean, it's a lot of fighting, grit. Half of the city gets destroyed every day. Every single day, half of the city is destroyed. So it's a magical, disruptive, all over the place anime. It's got a lot of like anime tropes, random anime tropes in it. It went under the radar. I don't know why, but it went heavily on the radar. It actually has 2 seasons. I have heard nothing about anything coming back up about it since I've seen it. And I think it's a 2016 anime, if I'm not mistaken. In total, like, there are also different, other different people. Like, there's a woman there who is she's like a werewolf, but she doesn't look like a werewolf. And her innate ability, if you never catch it, it's not that she can truly turn invisible, but she erases her existence to the point she is invisible to other people. And she, at one point, even erases her entire being to like a molecular like form. It goes really deep. But that's pretty unique for her ability, and I think that's cool. Like, she can erase part of her existence and reach through people, like grab their heart out if she wanted to, or just go through different walls. And she's never in the place that she needs to be. Like, she hardly helps out. She's more of the scout of the team. She can fight. She chooses not to a lot, though. And what is it, Dax? I don't think it's Dax. But they do it. There's this guy. He's the I'm tough. I'm the tough guy. He uses a blood manipulation style of fire, and he forms weapons with his blood. And he's the womanizer. So, and I don't think he really gets chicks. I'm pretty sure he pays for them all the time. But like he messes with Leonardo a lot. I think because he loves Leonardo, he wants to just keep him safe. But he messes with that kid all the time. Like he'll just throw him all over the place. He will use him as a human shield. And if I'm not mistaken, that has actually happened before. But everybody really loves Leonardo. He's a great MC of the story. He's not the strongest, but he's like Deku without All For One. If like that's a good grasp of Leonardo. I really wish I knew more of the cast names, even though I watched it at least a dozen times. But it's one of those great comedies I can sit back and just watch, especially when I'm eating. Like I will turn Blockade on in a second. Also, if you were wondering why the show is called Blockade, the reason is because there's a special blood technique, and it's only shown once in the show. And this when they were fighting a vampire. It's just a barrier. It's called a blood blockade. It's just a barrier. That's it. Like that's the name of the show. And I thought that was crazy. And I missed it like maybe the first 2 times I watched the show. I never questioned it. I was just like, blood blockade. Okay, everybody uses blood manipulation. So, it's just not that serious. But yeah, that's blood blockade. So that's gonna be it today. I'm finna get back on this road. I'm really tired. I probably shouldn't have sat here this long, but I'm finna go ahead and hit this road and make it South Carolina. See you guys in